The next artist I want to share with you is Luke Latulippe. He's an illustrator based out of Vancouver, BC. And Luke is prolific when it comes to illustration. And this illustration is somewhat an old one of his, but it's one of my favorites, and it's why I'm showing it to you, because it has so many attributes and characteristics within it that are such a great example of how to balance line and shape and form in order to pull off illustrative detail that looks complex, but in reality is very simplified but masterfully handled. And probably my favorite part, other than the perspective, the overall perspective is dramatic. That's the nice thing about this. This was a editorial illustration he created for a publication. But the one area that I really like that pulls off this masterful simplification of detail is I'm going to zoom in here just on the plants that are on this balcony. And just look how he pulled this off. This is very graphic. It's not even close to being realistic, but it's so effective. Just the way he handled this bush. He has little replicated leaves, but then he has this shape that just falls behind it and it pulls everything together. I just think it's just really, really well handled to pull off detail like that. It takes time, but it's done really well. The other thing, obviously, on this piece is the perspective. The perspective makes it dynamic, and it really draws you in, and it makes you want to look around and try to understand what's going on. You want to try to figure out the context of this image, and that is a sign of a very good illustration when it causes you to do that. That is what you're always after, to draw the viewer in and not be so trite and predictable that it doesn't make them think anymore. It makes them want to think more about it and try to understand, what's this trying to say to me? So Luke does a really good job in terms of editorial illustrations in that regard. He's a very talented illustrator. And once again, the perspective is jaw-dropping. Other than how he handled the detailing on the plants, his use of color here is also incredible. He kind of diminishes some of the detail around the edges, such as the street and gray, kind of a muted green. It's not intense. Once again, it's further away. You're up close next to the person, so those colors are intense. Colors that are further away down on the ground have been kind of muted back. So really good use of coloring. And I encourage you to check out more of his work on his website. And one thing Luke wanted to share with the viewers is go ahead and make lots of mistakes, he says. That's how you learn as an artist, and that's so true. So don't be afraid to try new things and screw them up, because it's only going to make you better the next time you try it.